Are you saying that when someone has sold one kidney and they go broke, they can still sell half of what is remaining? Hey Maze, asante sana for joining us for another classic episode of the Weekend Edition. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori. Now, for a better part of this week, stories from the Shakahola massacre have dominated the headlines, and one of the most contradicting bits of the story has been whether the exhumed bodies had missing parts and whether there's a scheme of organ harvesting, which led the Weekend Edition team to wonder what it will take to harvest a human body part. Wouldn't you be interested to know if your kidneys are safe? Exactly. And because of that organ harvesting thing, because it's very scary, the idea that mtu anaweza ngoa parts zako. What are the chances ya kusikia story kama, maze usijaribu kwenda Kawangware past 3 usiku. Kuna boys wangu walipiga ngeta, wakaenda na figo. As in, manze. Lakini ni kama ni Kenya mzima maze. Mimi hata nikiingia Kayole usiku na kuanga nimeshikilia roho kwa mkono. Unafikiria mbona wase usema wale makara utembea usiku wananga roho? You keep it safe. Now, well, to better understand what it will take to harvest a body part, we brought in studio one of the top surgeons in the country, a brilliant mind who is also the Secretary General of the Surgical Society of Kenya. Dr. Stanley Aruyaru is in the house. Asante sana. We'll be talking to him in a bit, but first, this week President William Ruto had an interview with journalists across all media stations where he addressed a lot of burning questions, including why he seemingly has lost weight.
When you have elections, you have a lot of pressure. Sometimes you take out the pressure on food. And you have to do this and that, and you don't have time to go exercise, and sometimes you eat. Because you don't know when you will find the next meal, so sometimes you overeat. So I decided to cut it down because ile kibarua niko naye si kidogo.
Now, sometimes you don't know when you will find your next meal. And yet, time your campaign, President was a true hustler. And that was very well explained, but just the fact that Kenyans were wondering, I concluded that Kenyans can never be satisfied. If I was the president, ningewaambia, ama ningesema, niliwaambia mkinichagua nitashukisha mafuta. Mulikuwa mnafikiria ni mafuta gani? And people have been on the president's case on promises he made before and after the elections. And good thing, it's a good thing, a very good thing that he clarified, especially hiyo ya kushukisha gas.
Wacha gas. Ile tunapunguza kati ya shilingi 300 na 500 ni mtungi yenyewe.
Kitu ilikuwa inashuka ni mtungi, sio gas. Mtungi bila gas. It was an empty promise. Now, manze, President amesema bei ya gas itaweza kushuka to 300 shillings before June as he had promised. The opposition kwanza hawaamini ati serikali haiwezi shukisha gas mpaka 300 bob. From experience, wanajua when the government is pushed to a corner, they can supply Kenyans with gas for free. And the president was also put on the spot on affordable housing, and hapa we need to go slow down. We need to go slow kiasi. Let's go back in history. For those who read the Bible, let's go back in history kidogo, where Jesus promised that he's going ahead of everyone to prepare mansions for everyone. Kila mtu ambaye anaamini anajengewa nyumba. Na tumekuwa tukijua hivyo since Sunday school. That's the Bible version of affordable housing. Now, on the same matter, mmesikia vitu Yesu anasema about story ya nyumba in 2023.
Nilikuwa na kijana mkubwa hapo kule Kiambu. Na pia hata kulipa tu rent ni shida sana.
2023 hata watoto wa Yesu hawana rent. Now history ya Yesu watongareni na kama itakana sisi for a while. There is a lot to unpack following his release from jail. This time round kwanza, it's interesting that the courts found Jesus to be innocent. But an interesting twist, the 2 thieves he was arrested with remained inside.
Kuna watu wawili walitoka Kondele huko Kisumu ndio wakaniambia Yesu sisi ni wezi tumeshikwa kwa maana walikuwa ngapi? akasema utukumbuke maana sisi tunapelekwa kule Lang'ata.
And it doesn't end there, maze. Yesu Watongaren is also on record with a different version of man shall not live on bread alone.
Wanahabari, unajua wewe umetajirika sana. Lakini hata wakija huko nyumbani hawanipeki hata sota, waje niseme wasikie. Hata shilingi tu 1000 mpewe Yesu akunywe sota ni ngumu sana.
Alafu there's a Nakuru radio station yenye waliibiwa mazee wakiwa live. Mliona hiyo story? Hiyo smile inataka kupotea tu sai. Alafu unajua ase walishindwa kusema kitu juu Yesu ulikuwa unaongea, alafu unaona msee anaingia na AK47. So unasema aje? Tuko na bunduki kwa studio. Wale wase wako home, DJ Bunduki yako Nakuru wale. Maze, that's a very, very difficult situation. Entertainment industry need to relook the names people give themselves. Because hata ukiambia mtu, ni aje na wameingia na panga. Sasa ndio wanataka kupanga muziki. Like anyway, alafu kuna one of the other top stories of the week. Nairobi former governor Mike Sonko alijam vibaya sana na mtu alikuwa amemwambiana pesa. Yani for me it seems like kutukana Mike Sonko ameambiwa vitu mob sana. But the moment mtu alisema Mike Sonko ana do, this video showed up.
Ati sina pesa sababu atisaidi watoto. Na nimekwambia above 18 ni mtoto. Mtu amesomeshwa akamaliza. Niko na pesa lakini sina pesa karibu na watoto. Unatamani mafuta wewe. Pesa. Mtu ajipange, aziko kaburi yake kivyake. Tuonane mbinguni. Nikufundishe pesa wewe bado ni mchokora wewe. Have a long way to go kwa maisha.
Na sasa nasema hii
ni pocket money. Hii ndio mafuta pale kuna milioni 30. Shinzi wewe kunguru.
Watu wengi wanasema this is the most depressing video they have seen this week. Mtu aliambia Mike Sonko ati hana pesa, akaenda akaonesha 30 million. And that begged the question. Kwa hizo matusi zote, mbona Mike Sonko hajai respond ku prove people wrong? Nani ameisikia mtu akisema Sonko hana akili? Naweza penda kusikia akirespond tu hiyo kwa haters wanasema Sonko hana akili. Now my question is, do you also feel depressed na hiyo video ya vile alikuwa anamaanisha ama nyinyi mko sawa?
Alifanya vizuri kuprove watu wrong because watu wamemzoea, mara wanamwambia ana akili, mara ni mwizi, mara sijui ni. Sasa hapo amefanya fine. Ni 50-50 yani.
But ni mbaya mtu akuambie, manzi haunanga pesa alafu ukue hauna. Sawa.
Sonko amekuwa kihelp wase by the way.
Yes.
Amekuwa kihelp wase. Unaona? So na hiyo ni ile uchungu alifeel by the way kuona msichana amemwambia hivyo. Unaona?
Yes.
So hata kama alionyeshana ni zake after all.
Thank you for your contribution. Sijui kama ni mimi peke yake nime notice but si watu wafupi kuwa na stress. Yaani umesimama but ni kama bado umeketi. Kwa content creators kuna content creators wanaipeleka on a whole new level. There is a US content creator by the way, now he faces 20 years in jail juu alipanda ndege yake akaenda akaiachilia huko kwa hewa akaruka nje because alikuwa ataka views. Reports are that YouTuber anaitwa Mike, sija confirm but hata yeye alireact hivyo juu msee alisema ana pesa. Anyway. We have a great show lined up for you, maze. We have one of the finest surgeons in the country, Dr. Stanley Aruyaru, joins us on the other end of this short commercial break to give us more information on his story. Tunasikianga ya organ trafficking, organ transplant, na hiyo kungolewa organ. We need to know how easy or how hard is it to remove a body part from a human being and it were used in another human being. He will be joining us on the other end of this short commercial break. Usiende mahali. See you in a bit. Welcome back to the weekend edition. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori. Leo nimengolewa meza juu ya the previous one ilivunjika. We have a great show lined up for you. Our guest is one of the top surgeons in the country. He's also the chief medical officer wa PCA Kikuyu, and he's here to help us answer very stubborn questions. The stories are organ harvesting. Dr. Stanley Aruyaru is in the house. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Dr. Kingori.
Hey, karibu sana.
How often are you called doctor by a doctor? Like seriously?
Niko na a few doctors who hate on the title.
Yes.
Kwa sababu wana feeling ni kama nilipata rahisi. One especially anaitwa Dr. Nyashira. She does it. Yani yake hata inakaanga personal.
Okay.
Anasikianga ana jam sana ati naweza itwa doctor for.
Nitakuombea.
Utaniombea ama niende nisome? Wazi. Karibu show. Unajua, on the first part of the show,
Yes.
we trivialize the concept of organ harvesting. Yeah, ni kama mtu anaweza pigwa ngeta kidneys. How hard is it to remove a body part from someone na uende nayo, and how do you carry it before uende uinstall kwa mse mwingine?
Ni ngumu sana. Sana. Isipokuwa wale wanaweza kupiga ngeta labda wakati tusikia watoroke nayo, in which case haitasaidia. But for organs, and we're talking about internal organs,
Yes.
ni vigumu. You need someone who is trained, a surgeon who knows the science and the craft ya kutoa ile organ. Kwa hivyo ukisikia mtu ametolewa organ, lazima a very well trained doctor must have been involved.
A very well trained organ.
Absolutely.
There's no chance ati kama for example, and this is no relation to the ongoing investigations, there's no chance ati Mackenzie kwa imani anaweza ingiza mkono na atoke na liver.
Hakuna vile.
What are the organs that can be removed when both people are alive? And if need be, for one person to be in heaven when the part is removed, like what is the grace period?
There are several organs that can be transplanted. Let's start with the commonest, is the kidney. And you know there are 2 kidneys. So mtu anaweza peana kidney moja, anabaki na ingine. Liver, a part of the liver can be donated.
A part of the liver.
A part of it, hiyo ingine inabaki. We are talking about someone who is living. Unaona? A part of the lung can be transplanted. A part of the lung. Kwa sababu mtu akona lungs mbili, side moja na side ingine, akona kidneys mbili, so you can give one. Ukona liver moja, you can give a part. And then we have other parts that can be transplanted, some parts of the pancreas, some people are transplanting the face. Okay?
Face transplant.
Imagine.
Yes.
And then you have organs that cannot be transplanted when the person is left alive, and that is the heart. If someone is to donate the heart, surely they must be dying for that heart to go to get used to someone else. So having looked at that, then you have 2 categories of donors. You have who we call a living donor. Living donor ni ukue uko na twin. Kuna twin brother Kingori. Kuna mtu niliona anakaa wewe na si wewe.
Hakuna mtu anaweza volunteer kufanana.
So tuseme uko na twin brother,
Yes.
na God forbid you needed a kidney, anakuja anaangaliwa, because the likelihood ita match is very high kwa sababu kila kitu zinafanana.
Yes.
Inaangaliwa kama ina match, unaangaliwa analysis yako na yake, na yeye anaangaliwa kama ako healthy, anapeana ile kidney.
So
hiyo inaitwa
ideally-
living donor.
Ideally, people who have twins, the other person is spare parts.
Hapana, hiyo nayo shinda yako. Tuseme twins ni bonus kwa parents.
Okay.
But like we have said before, Mungu akikuumba anakuumba na spare. No, akikupea kidneys mbili, you can do with one. You can actually do with half. Hata akikupea liver, you can divide half of it and give and remain with the other half. As long as kwa ule mtu inaenda, ataireceive, atai-reject. So we have to do some extensive testing to make sure kuna ile inaitwa compatibility tukikupea organ.
Are you saying that when someone has sold one kidney and they go broke, they can still sell half of what is remaining?
Mimi sijasema hivyo Kingori, unataka nikufukuze hii mtaa. Sasa the thing is kuna structure na kuna function.
Yes.
Kwa hivyo kama uko na kidney mbili, you have 2 structural things.
Yes.
Uko na hii mkono, uko na hii mkono, uko na hii kidney, uko na hii kidney. But hii kidney, the function it is doing, you can still survive with it doing half of it and the other one completely dead. So you can donate one kidney and you have one kidney remaining. And then over time what happens is organs start to age. The same way machines depreciate.
Yes.
Human beings also depreciate. Human organs also depreciate.
Yes.
Sasa unaweza kuta mtu akona 2 kidneys, moja imetolewa, hiyo ingine inafanya kazi. As they grow old, it is expected that they will depreciate over time, but inapewa ile inaitwa redundancy. Inabaki kidogo. So by the time you are getting to 90s or 100,
Yes.
your kidney is not functioning the way it was functioning when you are energetic young like you are now, but hiyo bado ni enough to sustain you for life. So I'm just giving that comparison to tell us that when you are healthy and young, the organs you have a lot of reserve and you can give some of it.
Okay.
You get?
Yes.
So kabla ni confuse, I was explaining a living donor. So living donor ni mtu ako alive, anapeana certain organ, inaenda kwa mtu mwingine, and both of them are alive and well, and their friends wakikutana wanangoteana, nilikupea kidney.
Na tukikosana nipee kidney.
Hakuna vile inarudishwa, hairudishwi, unaona? So that is one, and that can happen for kidney, it can happen for those paired organs or where you can take apart like liver or something like that. Then kuna ingine tunaitanga deceased donor. Now that is where there is a little confusion. Deceased donor means, na hii inaweza kuwa for any organ really, mtu amepata critical injury for example, like amekuwa in a road accident, ameanguka kabisa anaenda kukufa, and you're like,
hajakufa bado.
Yes, but you know you can assess here, huyu mgonjwa we are not reviving. Amekufa saa hiyo. Kama alikuwa amepeana written instructions that mimi nikikufa take my organs, you see sasa team ile ya kuharvest who are very specialized doctors in highly specialized transplant units. Si ati huko kwa kichaka or just any other facility, a really established facility with specialists.
Team ya kuharvest, you call them that?
Donor teams, organ donation is done with 2 teams. Most of the time, it will be one team that is operating to harvest the organ that is being donated, and next door there is a team that is receiving and transplanting it, so that there is minimal time wastage before the organ is removed from one body and transplanted to the new owner.
So hauwezi kuwa mana kidney kwa jam. Like
hakuna vile. Hiyo hata ukiona mahali zinaenda kuwa, for instance, where we have teams that now go to do the operation that will harvest the kidney ama ile organ, unaona most of the time either wanaenda na ambulance ama wanaenda tu na chopper. Sasa we come to the question you asked. Mtu saa hii akipeana organi yake afike mbinguni, organi yake itakuwa alive. And now we talk about how to preserve the organs before they are transplanted.
Okay.
Inaitwa time, inaitwa ischemia time. Ischemia is a technical term meaning lack of blood or something like that. So when you talk about ischemia time, it means wakati umetoa hiyo organ, hakuna damu inapitia kwa hiyo organ. So it just has a small window within which you have to quickly connect it to the other recipient, ndio damu ianze kuflow kuenda kwa hiyo organ, ndio bado sasa isikufe na ianze kufanya kazi yake, be it a kidney, be it a liver, be it some part of the intestines or part of the pancreas, whatever you call it.
Oh, so hata hizi for in the medical fraternity, all this nini, oh, you stole my heart, hizo ni propaganda, like it's
hiyo ni propaganda.
From a surgeon's perspective, which is the most marketable body part? Ile iko soko kabisa.
Yeah. Hakuna kitu iko soko kabisa.
On demand. But let me use doctor's language.
I like to put that clearly out there, that there is no human body that is up for sale. It is prohibited. So what people do is donate. What people do is donate. That's why they are called organ donor. They are not called organ seller. Donor, you donate.
There must be something.
There is nothing.
Mpe kidney bude. Like there must be.
Akunanga. Usikuange mkono birika hivyo. If you have 2 kidneys and someone is suffering, donate bwana.
No. I'm talking about in a case where it's not emotions involved.
Yes.
Like you need to pay rent and someone needs a kidney and they have something. Like
so you bring a very valid question, and that is what has brought about a lot of black market trade and organ trafficking. Because number one, the need is extremely high because a lot of patients are getting kidney failure. They are on dialysis. The end solution to a patient who has kidney failure and they are constantly on dialysis is to get kidney transplant. Because what happens is all their kidneys have completely gone kaput. They're not working. So you need a new one so that it starts working. But there are fewer donors. And as a result, people now want to find how can we smuggle that one competitive available donated kidney against a waiting list of maybe 1,000 or 50,000 people who are waiting. This is the first component. The second component, like you've put it, people don't have rent, people don't have food, people don't have anything, and they're like, I am rich because I am physically fit, I go to the gym, I have 2 kidneys, can't I give one? But that is illegal.
But see, there is no clean way of selling your kidneys.
Hakuna.
Someone donates a part. And then after donating, you need it back. Like legit, by the way. Like you donated to someone, they are healthy, alafu you start suffering. The other kidney starts failing. Can you claim it back, like legally? Because at least you have lived kidogo, courtesy of me, but I want my kidney. Like, I have things I need to take care of. Is that part of the contract in kusaidia mtu na kidney yako?
Hapana, it hasn't been, it sounds theoretically possible, but practically I haven't experienced it. Practically it's fairly rare, because what we do is we have to do extensive analysis of the person who is donating. So we are able to tell this person is completely healthy.
They will never have kidney
All
problems.
factors held constant, this patient will live to full life with one kidney.
But then life happens.
Then life happens, I know.
Be honest, would you be on your, unaenda, you start seeing Jesus, and you know someone is thriving with your kidneys out there, can you?
That's an interesting ethical question you would like to pose in a team of doctors and
There
hear
is
what they
proof
say.
that this person is with my kidney.
Interesting.
And probably that person is even flossing on social media, as in,
Like taking a selfie of their kidney.
no, as in, they are living the good life. Like, oh, look at what I just named, and you are going. And what you are going for is a kidney. You can't force them to donate it back. But okay, usimnyang'anye, but donate it back.
You can't force someone to donate it back. And now this is the point. The point is, this person at this point cannot be a valid candidate to donate. You get? Because you must meet several checklists for you to donate. So you must have 2 healthy kidneys so that we pick one and you remain with the other. So already being a recipient knocks you off of the list of donors.
Wapi makofi ya Dr. Stan? Asante. Asante sana. Next time utatupatia first aid ya kudungwa na kisu, because I thought kwa movies, I think he told me on another platform that it's wrong. Ati mtu akikudunga na kisu hivi ungoe, ufai kungoa, unafaa
usingoe, unaachilia tu inakaa hapa, unakuja tunangoa kwa hospitali.
You are not supposed to pluck it by yourself.
Usitoe. Wakelea tu some glue around.
Some what?
Like a kitambaa around. If there is bleeding, just put some kitambaa around.
It's for your own health pressure. Or for evidence?
Not for it is actually to prevent bleeding, because mtu akidungwa, the leading cause of bleeding, the leading cause of death, mtu akidungwa na kisu ni bleeding.
So ukidungwa na kisu unafaa ufunge hapo na hiyo kisu.
Hiyo kisu wacha ikae hapo, get some cotton or some clean cloth or something and just wrap it around. Or hold with your hand if the patient is still conscious, or someone can hold it like that, just to minimize blood that is coming out, but never remove. Never remove.
So if you ukiwa na kisu alafu damu haitoki mingi,
hiyo ni mzuri.
Ni mzuri.
Hiyo ni mzuri.
Hata si lazima uende hosi immediately.
Hapana, unaenda hosi immediately. Unaenda hosi immediately.
Hawezi fanya shughuli 2-3.
Hakuna, unaenda hosi immediately.
Ni kucall kama mtu ako namba yako. Doc, sioni kama inatoka sana. Naweza ingia hapa super ni chukue 2-3.
Au usiingie, unakuja directly kwa hospitali, then we are able to handle it.
There is face transplant, it's possible.
Vitu zinafanywa.
Kwa hivyo hata DJ Shiti anaweza kuwa sio DJ Shiti like yeye.
Ako wapi?
Haitamfikia hata Mlamwa akaangi Mlamwa, si ndio? I don't think that's how he was born. So, a round of applause for you guys. Asante sana. Thank you. Asante sana. That's it for the weekend edition. See you next week. My name is Dr. Kingori.